Who else do we have? Big Dan Diedrichson, Balaam's ass, if you will.
So Balaam got his donkey, mounted her, and began the journey to Balak. God was angry because he went, so the angel of the Lord stood in the path with his sword. When the donkey saw the angel, she turned off the path into the field. Balaam beat the donkey and turned her back into the path. Then the angel of the Lord stood in the path where there was a wall on both sides. The donkey pushed herself against the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. The angel went further where there was no room to turn to the right or to the left. Having nowhere to go, the donkey lay down. Balaam was even angrier, so he beat the donkey with a stick. So the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey.
What have I done that you have struck me these 3 times?
Because you have made a mockery of me. If there had been a sword in my hand, I would have killed you by now.
Have I ever done anything like this to you before?
No.
The Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel and bowed before him.
Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? I've come out because your intent is against the Lord's. But the donkey saw me and had turned aside these 3 times. If she had not, I would have killed you and let her live.
I have sinned. I did not know you were standing in the way. I will turn back if you want me to.
Continue on, but you shall speak only the word which I shall tell you.
So Balaam mounted and continued on his way.
The big question for him is really just traditionally, how terrible of a draft is he going to have, and how many random bucks is he going to draft, and then how is he going to build from that to build a good team, because in the last few years he actually has had a fairly decent team, which has been a change for him, because for the previous, I don't know, 3 to 5 years he royally sucked. There's just no way around it. One Rick Kingsley. Rick has had really, it's been interesting to see how he bounces back, because after 4 years of pretty relative mediocrity within the league, last year he skyrocketed to a 12-1 record, only to be felled by Alan Williams and the Kinky Wizards.
The Kinky Wizards, nice.
In the first round. That had to be hard to go out like that. How will he bounce back? How will he bounce back? He's obsessed with urine.
Tell me you're not making
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But we'll see if he's still obsessed with winning. Zach Wettendorf. Has continually, other than 1 year when he lost in the championship round to yours truly, he has been pretty not great, just pretty middle of the road, and he's a doctor, so you would think someone smart could field a good team. Let's see if he can do better. Chris Hodges.
Who are you? Who are you?
Chris continually and continuously fields some of the stronger teams in the league, but the last couple of years he seems to have been bitten on the arse, if you will, by injuries and just weird things happening. holdouts, things like that. So Chris is a great player, definitely formidable opponent. We'll see what happens this year. Mike Davis, the sideburn captain himself.
Sideburns on the side of my face as my head turns. You can see they're in the same place on either side. Burns, they can't be replaced. My insides burn when I think of the days before my sideburns. Look at my sideburns, but don't touch my sideburns. Why would you do that? My heart yearns for my own sideburns. My side actually burns now. What is that? What the hell, man? Why does my side burn? What the hell's going on? My side burns. Does anybody have some aloe vera? If you do, bring it backstage. I'll pay you back. My sideburns, look at my sideburns, back on track, talking about sideburns. My sideburns, look at my sideburns, lulu sideburns.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with him as well, because he is 3 years removed from finally breaking through and winning the title in 09, and then immediately the next year taking his rightful place as league bridesmaid as he was runner-up to the younger DiVirgilio.
Nobody cares for me.
And then last year, he really sucked almost as bad as the Broncos did and struggled to a 5-8 record. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. And as for me,
I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here.
It will be interesting to see how I respond as well. I have to be honest. Last year was a little hard. I came up just after Rick and had the number 2 seed in the playoffs, but went out with really not even a whimper. It was a pretty handy beating at the hands of Mark's formidable Kenny Rogers Roasters. And so this year, I'm letting you know I'm resolute. I mean, I am the only guy in the league. I mean, it just happens to have more than one title. I have 2 titles.
Later.
Where again we said Allen, he has none, like none at all, like has never won. I'm not even sure if he's ever made it to the finals, which I've been 3 times, and I've got 2 titles. So that's keeping me resolute. I don't want to brag. I'm very humble about it. But it'll be interesting to see how I bounce back from that. And I'm going through team names. That's another interesting thing. How many new teams will we have this year? This is getting really long. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a great time. I don't even have time for this. Will we have new team names? Will we keep? Some people keep their team names every year. I am working through a few options. The first one would be Cooter's Garage. A shout out to one of the more groundbreaking and highbrow TV shows in our nation's history, The Dukes of Hazzard.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. just a good old boy. Wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.
Ignored in favor of lining his own pocket. And Boss Hog, you're missing.
Sweep the leg.
You have a problem with that? No, Sensei.
I think that speaks for itself. Sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate!
Damn, that boy can sing. He must be crazy. He good. He must be crazy.
Sexual chocolate would be a very, I don't know if intimidating would be the word for opponent, but a very interesting opponent to face nonetheless. The incredibly heartwarming name of Jesse and the Rippers.
All right, fellas, here we go.
Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run? Yeah. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done?
Boy, are you gonna get it.
Is also up for me to pick. I'm losing my brain, I can't speak. And also the last one that I'm considering is the newly classic Khaki Scouts of America.
You have your orders. Use the orienteering and pathfinding skills that you've been practicing all summer. Let's find our man, bring him safely back to camp. Remember, this isn't just a search party. It's a chance to do some first-class scouting. Any questions? Lazy Eye.
What's your real job, sir?
I'm a math teacher. Why?
What grade?
8th?
You need PhD for that?
Lazy Eye, no. But you know what? We're actually in the middle of something here in case you didn't notice. One of our scouts is missing, and that's a crisis. Anybody else? Redford.
What if he resists?
Who?
Shukusky. Are we allowed to use force on him?
No, you're not. This is a non-violent rescue operation. Your mission is to find him, not to hurt him under any circumstances. Am I making myself understood?
Yes.
Good. I'm gonna change my answer, in fact. This is my real job. Scoutmaster, Troop 55. A math teacher on the side.
If you're a Wes Anderson fan, you need to go see Moonrise Kingdom. If you happen to like movies or have a sense of humor, you should go see it.